Hello everybody, welcome to today's show again. Let's just dive into it and hope you're having a great time wherever you are. First, we have XRP price pumps as SWIFT partners with Ripple rival R3. Now, in the last 24 hours at the time of recording, XRP is the biggest winner among the top 10 coins. It has gained about 10% in prices, right? And why is that? So basically, Swift have actually announced that they're going to partner with R3, which is an enterprise trading, enterprise blockchain-based platform, right, to integrate their trade finance platform using the blockchain technology of R3. Now, R3 is actually a competitor of XRP, but in late last year, they have actually used, right down at the bottom paragraph here, you can see that R3 have actually used XRP to settle on their network called Corda Settler. So R3 have actually adopted XRP, and now that SWIFT, the biggest, basically the global network for banks, they serve 11,000 banks globally, and they process $2 billion daily in transaction value, right? So they are huge. And so now they're partnering with R3, and R3 is using XRP, and that is why there's a lot of rumors among the community of XRP that, Swift will eventually use XRP. Now, this is still a rumor to date because this is still a trial, a proof of concept, and they have until September to see the results and then before deciding the next steps. But regardless, it is still very good. And not only that, Swift CEO has actually praised, right, that large part of Ripple's value proposition is their XRP token. But then at the same time, he has also said that, banks are reluctant to use XRP directly because of the volatility. But regardless, because of there's a strong possibility, right, that Swift will use XRP because of R3 already used XRP as their token to settle their payments, their cross-border payments. And Swift has actually had a bad history in terms of, yes, because they are a global network serving banks globally, but they had a 6% error rate in terms of their processing. And blockchain, right, and XRP will definitely resolve this issue because, XRP can process global payments within seconds and without error, and everything is very transparent, and so everything can be tracked and by the recipient and the sender, and that is the value proposition. Now, in the worst case, that in the flip side, if Swift doesn't want to use XRP, right, what can they do? They might partner with R3 to develop their own centralized network, but then a lot of the banks, I think, will not really use that centralized network, because then again, you're going back to, then XRP can then pitch to the banks the benefits of decentralization again, So that is why everyone is so happy, and it seems like, right, the XRP price is actually also leading and has an effect of the overall crypto market as well. As you can see, it was a lot of greens, right, even Bitcoin, Next, Ripple hires general counsel from lending firm CIT Group. So Ripple company, they have actually filled a position, their legal counsel, which has been vacant for several months. So the key about this I don't want to bring up is that the new in-house legal, Stuart Alderotti, what his background is, he has huge experience in the banking sector. So he had worked in top 50 US bank, right? And he also had experience in HSBC and American Express, in all these banks as a lawyer. So that is really good because, for Ripple, in the case, because they do have to come in, confrontation with a lot of the SEC over whether SEC will regard XRP as a security or not. And you really need someone, a lawyer who clearly knows how the banking lingo, right? Banking language, and know how to deal with regulators, because he has so much experience in the bank. So definitely he has a lot of experience as well with the regulators dealing with financial sector. So that's good news for Ripple. Next so again, stablecoin is very popular again. So South Korean fintech firm launches first won-backed stablecoin. So the stablecoin is called Korean won B, I guess B stands for Bitcoin, right? And it will be backed by won at a 1-to-1 ratio, something like Tether, which is 1-to-1 by USD. So again, this is basically just after yesterday's news. We had also the news where Hong Kong dollar, there was also one stable coin backed by Hong Kong dollar. So seems like a lot of, seems like the trend now is issuing stable coins. So the benefits is, of course, it can, it can reduce some volatility in terms of the crypto value, but at the same time, there is always that risk of centralization and, because it is still centralized, then you do need audit, right? And here, though, they said they're using a third-party auditor, but again, right, how often are they being audited? That is still that risk, yeah. Next is a very 2 points are actually very much linked. And here we are basically seeing a lot of institutional client demand. And that, again, is very, very good for the industry because, a lot of the time, I already of the opinion, and I have also heard other people in the space saying that, institutionals actually are investing money, are interested in crypto, despite the crypto winter. But now we have proof, right? Specifically, TD Ameritrade Manager of Trading Strategy, Sean Cruz, he actually said TD Ameritrade clients have regained interest in Bitcoin after it fell under $4,000 a few months ago. And specifically, they say they offer Bitcoin futures trading for clients, and that means the clients are very excited about Bitcoin when it dipped below 4,000 back in November 2018. And also he said that at the moment, the demand for digital assets has substantially increased. And the firm is just waiting for liquidity and regulation to take place before adding support to other cryptocurrencies. And that just ought to tell you, right, that basically when prices are low, institutions are actually buying, yeah. And these are plain proof in your face that, and is by TD Ameritrade, which is really one of the largest stockbroker in the US. Yeah, so now they're saying this, and this then basically back up a lot of the reasons why big Wall Street names are investing money into this space, right? So we have Fidelity going to launch their custody solutions very soon, and now TD Ameritrade have also invested in a new crypto exchange, Aries X, along with Nasdaq Ventures. So yeah, so that also ought to tell you already with. At that time, the news already indicated that means there must be client demand. That's why they see this is here to stay. But now they are actually playing points saying that, institutional investors are interested, and in fact, it has increased and they're buying when prices are low. This, I just want to, bring home the point that really it is very sad. I think who is not investing now is really the individual retail investors who can actually buy now because it's so cheap. They can even buy, a lot of people can buy one Bitcoin outright like that. That's no issue. But it's the retail investors who are not buying now because they are really afraid and they do not follow the news closely to know this kind of news, right? So please, if you are watching this, please spread this news around, right? This is really very credible news coming from the mouth of someone very senior in TD Ameritrade, yeah? Next, Genesis Capital processed 1.1 billion in cryptocurrency loans in 2018. So what they are is actually a crypto lending firm, and they have basically processed 1.1 billion for the whole of last year, but 500 million of those loans is in Q4 alone, and this is basically when the prices of crypto have really bottomed out. And so again, they were saying the loans were issued to corporate borrowers such as hedge funds, yeah. And again, a lot of their demand is driven by institutional investors actively utilizing spot borrow between November and December. That's because they also want to hedge their holdings. That means they have crypto, they have Bitcoin. That's why they need to hedge their position. Again, just all this proof need to tell you, right, that institutions are investing big time into this market. And really, my suspicion is really that it could be very high up institutions plus the elites up there that are using news to actually manipulate the market so that the weak hands are basically shaken out, and then the prices can be held this low so that they can keep accumulate during all this like 1 year plus period. Yeah. Next, adoption. We have plenty of news on adoption. And this is really, really cool. The first one is now that a new company called Vendit Payment System, they are a new company. They basically want to raise ICO. So I will dig into more details and maybe share in a future videos. But for now, just know that they have already added Uber, which is the Uber, you heard right. It's basically the cab sharing company, the largest cab sharing company in the world, that they are adding Uber app in their payment system. Basically, then they allow customers to add cryptocurrencies, right, to this Uber app. And basically, that means you can pay for your cab ride on Uber using cryptocurrencies. Let's just look at a video here. Yes, so you have seen that, right? And now, so that's cool. That's really cool. Next, we have Samsung Pay could eventually integrate cryptocurrencies into the Samsung Galaxy S10. This is not the first time that there are already rumors that basically Samsung is going to integrate crypto wallet into their phone. Now there is leaked photo online in Twitter by Gregory Blake, who showed that, right, this is Samsung phone, and then you can see here, create a new wallet and create a new cryptocurrency wallet with Samsung blockchain key store. And also they were end of last year, there were already news saying that Samsung has applied for patents for wallet or mobile related wallet. So all these seem to tie into the rumor that they could very soon in the future and come up with a crypto wallet in their phone. And this is reported by a Korea newspaper, Korea Herald, right? So again, it's gaining credibility. So it's cool to see what happens, because if Samsung really go ahead, I think Apple may just follow suit after that. Next, Bitcoin Lightning Network reaches capacity of 600 BTC, worth 2 million in first year. So this is the latest milestone achieved by Lightning Network, and that's really, really good, because it just shows that daily, right? Every day, Lightning Network usage and adoption is increasing. Yeah, so it has the amount of Bitcoin that is on Lightning Network is over 21 BTC just in 24 hours, increased by 21, and now is 601 BTC, 15% more than a month ago. And in terms of node count is 5,768, 16% rise versus a month ago. Similarly, channels as well is 36% rise from a month ago. So really, really good again. So Lightning Network is to scale up the transaction speed for Bitcoin, and then all this will be really, really good progress. Yeah. So militant arm of Hamas aims at using Bitcoin to fight against financial isolation. So this is okay, although this is terrorist arm, but at the same time they are not fully being recognized as a terrorist arm by Russia, Turkey, and China. That means Russia, Turkey, and China do not regard Hamas as a terrorist entity, though US and EU does. So there is a bit of conflict around whether they are truly terrorists or not. But regardless, because they have been sanctioned, right, by the government and nearby neighbors, so they cannot have, basically the fund flows from overseas are cannot basically barred, and now they have to resort to getting funding in Bitcoin. So again, this just point to another point where I heard a podcast that's saying in Venezuela as well, Bitcoin adoption is increasing exactly because of these reasons, that their local currency is really of worthless, right? So the minimum wage there, and most people are earning minimum wage of just $6 a month, right? And a loaf of bread costs like $100, yeah, in their local currency. So that ought to tell you how much inflation has been caused by the government. And now they have no choice, but everyone has to resort to Bitcoin, yeah. And that is the power of Bitcoin. So yes, I mean, many of us probably think of Bitcoin as just something that we can definitely make money, but a lot of people out there are really seeing Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies as their livelihood, right? It really means that whether it means life or death, right? Whether you have Bitcoin or not. And that is the power of this new invention. So next, South Korea's largest crypto exchange, Upbit, is set to enter Indonesian market with an airdrop. So Upbit is largest crypto exchange in Korea, and now look like they want to tap into an Indonesian market, which is currently still not cracked. And how they want to do that is they want to have a huge airdrop of 250,000 icon tokens for the first 2,500 customers that sign in the companies. And to be eligible, of course, you have to pass their know your customer verification. Yep. So yes, they will also need you to give up your privacy to buy Bitcoin. So there's no surprise there. Next, the US blockchain firm introduces wallet for digital assets and securities. So this is quite interesting because TokenSoft, a company that wallet company, is basically coming up with a new wallet that can, have everything, that can store both your cryptocurrency and also the digital securities. And this is to prepare for the, future, and already now, right, that there are already a lot of tokenized assets like real estate, equity, or that. In fact, it is believed that every asset that can be, every asset today can be digitized, and that would be a huge thing as well for the crypto market. And again, this is really good because just to give a very concrete example, so a real estate that can cost like $10 million in US cannot be afforded by most people, right? But now, if it's tokenized, then you can own just a small share of that property, and that means $10 million worth of property can then be broken down into 100 parts. That means you just need 100K to own a small piece of that property, and you can then gain from future capital gains or rental income already, and that will basically increase financial inclusion, and also it will reduce the income inequality among the rich and poor. Last one is that reports said nearly 80% of crypto event attendees are male. They basically done a survey and they looked at 100 crypto events around the world in 15 countries, and they found that 80% of the crypto event attendees are male, and that also showed that a lot of the investors in this space, right, are male, and that means the gender diversity is really not achieved, and this is way out in the crypto space. And I just want to appeal to you, right? And basically, I'm sure many of you are male, right? Because just based on this survey, and I think it is quite reflective of people who are interested in crypto news as well, that please spread this news around, right, to your female colleagues, families, friends, because really they need to know, even if they are not interested to invest, they really need to understand what is this, what is cryptocurrencies, why is it so important, why is it so hot topic, right? And maybe one angle to get their interest is that it can really improve donations, it can really improve charitable giving as well. And I just want to say that I do have a free seminar that actually shares some of these key points, and I'm going to put that link below. So to share this around, we really need more people to just know about this. At least, if anything, at least get educated, right? Really, self-mastery is the biggest investment one can make on oneself. And of course, I congratulate you, right? Because you are already in that process of getting educated, getting up to speed every day on crypto developments, and that's really, really good. But please spread the good words around as well, right? Don't just hoard the knowledge, share it around. And thank you so much for watching. And for the new subscribers, I welcome to you, and I really thank you very much, and for all your support, I really appreciate it. And thank you again, and God bless, and hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Thank you.